The EFF in the Western Cape is opening the party's Provincial People's Assembly today. EFF branches are expected to elect new leaders. Athi Mtongana is there for us, joins us live now from Cape Town. Athi, tell us what's planned for the coming days and hours.
Well, of course, Temegile, as you've mentioned, the economic freedom fighters in the Western Cape have geared up to kickstart their third People's Assembly, where delegates from different regions across the province will obviously be here in their numbers to elect new leadership of the province. You might know the current leadership will, of course, be here as well. It remains to be seen whether the same faces will be then elected in the top positions of the Western Cape, particularly for the EFF. Of course, I'm joined by the spokesperson of the province, Dr. Wandile Gasibe. Thank you for your time. What should we expect today? We know it's still quite early, and you have set up this marquee and the capacity. We're talking about how many people you're expecting today.
Thank you very much, Athi, for having me. We're expecting about 850 delegates today. And as you can see, we're ready for the conference, and delegates will be arriving here because we're supposed to be starting at 2 o'clock. So the delegates now basically are doing registration, which closes, around about 2. Then they should be arriving here immediately after registration. They will be arriving here. So we are ready. I mean, it's all systems go on our side. So we are very much ready.
All systems go for the election of the new leadership. In the build-up to today, of course, you are within the communication structure of the EFF in the Western Cape. What are the delegates from the different regions saying insofar as the leadership that has taken them to this third People's Assembly?
Well, you must understand that delegates, they come from different regions. And I think that, that of course is the, prerogative of the delegates to basically, as you would, see it unfolding here, that, within this space, delegates will make that decision. So I don't want to, to preempt what is going to happen, but I think that, it should be left really to the delegates to, to let, their choice, known or be seen. But I must say that it has really been, I think, an exciting, build up to this process, because we understand that this is the third, People's Assembly in the province, and a lot of strides have been made in this province because we operate in a very, a different province with its different dynamics, and a lot of things that we have actually, made in terms of, progress in terms of the political space within the province.
Yes, I was going to ask you about that, because when I said to you, what are the delegates? What are the delegates saying in terms of the leadership that has taken them to this third People's Assembly? How has the leadership, handled those different dynamics, given the fact that, of course, this is the Western Cape, and as you've said, the dynamics are different from the rest of the other provinces?
Well, when I actually said dynamics, I was actually referring to the fabric of the political landscape. For example, we've done, the province has done quite a lot of political interventions. We can mention a few, your Brackenfell and other public protests that actually we have actually been part of. And I think that when I say dynamics, I was referring to that landscape in the province.
Has it been difficult to push through those dynamics?
Well, the Western Cape, we're dealing here with a province that is actually run by, a DA-led administration. And we know the DA, the racism, the institutionalized racism within the DA. So as the EFF in the province, we've been working within that space. And they've not really, we're not surprised, by the fact that, the dynamics are different in terms of the political landscape. But I must say that as the province, EFF in the province, a lot of work has been done in terms of making strides, into those areas, and of course, the labor desk and, the protest at different schools, where learners actually communicated to us, raising issues of racism. So we've done those interventions as the province in the Western Cape.
As I let you go, let's reflect on the municipal elections and the by-elections in Cedarburg and the West Coast. What is your view in terms of the EFF's growth within these different regions?
Well, I mean, if you look at the last elections, we've actually grown our numbers, especially in some municipalities. If you look at the Cape Metro, we got additional seats in council, and you look at other regions as well. But of course, this is an ongoing program, a process to basically continuously convince voters to say that there is an alternative in this province. In fact, the EFF as a party that champions the issue of land, because we know that in this country our people are landless, and they've always been landless since the arrival of those who came and stole our land. And EFF is very clear on the question of land, and we are saying to our people there is a better path that they can take, and the EFF presents that better path to all those who would like to have their dignity restored.
Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Wandile Kasibe. He is the provincial spokesperson for the Economic Freedom Fighters. They will kickstart, as I said to Megile, their 3-day People's Assembly where they'll be electing new leadership. We're expecting in one of these days to have the Commander-in-Chief of the EFF to address the delegates, and they will obviously have an opening remark today. It remains to be seen whether it will be the SG of the party who will do the opening remarks, but we'll be here to track the developments in as far as the election of the new leadership.
Athi Mtongana, thank you very much for that update from Cape Town.